Hi everybody, Peter Loch here from Vantage Coach Business Accelerator. We work with business owners that have less than 50 employees and who want to scale their business, become the go-to, and build a self-managing business. And today, I've got a very special guest, Chris van Zyl from Focal Fusion. Chris is a specialist in photography as well as in videography for businesses. He's doing some really, really interesting things in that particular space. And I think it's very important for business owners to start getting into the video space. So, Chris, welcome to this recording.
Thank you, and thanks for the invite. And I look forward to sharing some information and some knowledge with you.
Yeah, no, awesome, Chris. I'm sure that you've got a hell of a lot to share with us. I'm sure at the end of this, a lot of people might just want to reach out to you as well. So we'll ask Chris to just provide some contact details at the end as well. So Chris, let's get started. You've been doing video recording for quite a while, particularly for businesses, right? And it seems to be becoming more and more important for businesses, especially small business. Big opportunity there to have video as part of their marketing, their marketing mix. So, from your perspective, how do you see this playing out? Why is video becoming so important for businesses? And why use video at all?
It's a very interesting concept. And if you just look at my background, I come from photography and I've moved into videography, and how the digital space is changing at an incredibly rapid rate. Now, and the best way to look at that is you can find out how to do anything by just doing a search on YouTube. So that shows you the importance of video. And then as far as businesses are concerned, is people do business with people they feel they know. And so having a still image is a good way of introducing who you are, but having a video with a description and moving is vitally important. The other interesting concept is just to, once again, prove the point how important video is. Some products now don't come with instruction manuals. They come with a QR code, which is a link to a YouTube video. So people that are not staying abreast of what's happening in the video space, they are just going to get left behind.
Yeah. And as you say, it's changing so rapidly. And, I subscribe to that whole philosophy. People buy from people that they know, that they like, and that they trust. And it takes quite a while for people to build up that know, like, trust before they're willing to reach out to you and say, yes, I think, you're the right person or supplier for us, right? And yeah, I can see how the video can really do that, because I can see you, I can hear your voice, I can see your expertise and so on as well. So that's really awesome. So Chris, just, we're talking about video, but there are lots of different types of videos that people can create for their business. Can we maybe just talk about what uses there are? When should you use video and for what?
A lot of people say, well, I'm not a photographer, I don't know how to do video, it's a strange thing. Now, when it comes to video, you don't have to be a professional. There's different categories. You can have a professional video taken, which costs money, and have the place of give you an overview and so on. But from then on, there's so many instructional videos. It's showing somebody how to do that. And in a nice environment, how to use a product, right? Also, progress reports. If you're busy with a project, construction industry is posting regular progress reports of how the building's going or how a revamp is going, etc., etc. It gives you credibility. So other people that might want to use your service in the future can see this man shows what he's been doing. This business was not shy of showing the quality of their work and that kind of situation. Now, once again, our cell phones have become vitally important in these things, and most cell phones take 4K video, so you don't need to go out and buy a high-end 50,000 Rand video camera anymore. You can do that. There's also a lot of freeware editing available that you can use. What I do with some of my clients is they do the videos, they send it to me, and I'll edit, and I'll put it into a story form for them. I'll make it look more professional. So by combining what you've done yourself and professional videos, you can tell a really good, interesting story. It's that kind of thing. But it's always the fear of the unknown. Rather do it, get used to it, and you'll find an issue in the market. Don't be scared of video. And then combining video with stills. There's so much you can do. Music is an emotive thing. Is adding music to a video. It's such a simple thing to do, but it changes the whole feeling of the video. So the uses of video is absolutely endless.
Yeah, absolutely, right. So one of the guys that I follow is called Marcus Sheridan, right? He's written a book. They Ask, You Answer. And he's built his whole fiberglass pool company based on that, just by looking at what do prospects really want, what info, because we're going onto YouTube to get info about some problem that we're trying to solve, right? So his whole philosophy is, look, people have got certain questions, normally about things like price, right? Problems associated with buying your product. So he's got fiberglass pools, so it might be what kind of problems can I expect buying a fiberglass pool, right? Comparisons, right? Should I buy gunite versus fiberglass, which is better for me? Reviews, right? So he does a lot of reviews, and he does it almost independently. And, so it doesn't punt necessarily his product, but it also sets him up as, the trusted expert. And he's just built phenomenal businesses, around that philosophy. Right?
But, it's such a simple thing to do. Like you're saying, and so there's a pool guy who doesn't come, he hasn't been to film school. He hasn't studied videography or anything like that. And he's taken a concept and he's used video to make himself credible, and he's created a YouTube channel, which I think is very important, is people get your own YouTube channel. So that's a go-to. When people want to know about something, they'll go to your channel. And once again, your example of the pools, he can then, in a video format, show the difference between the pools. It's not just talking about it, it's an actual visual thing, And what happens while he's talking about a pool, he's becoming familiar. So he becomes the go-to guy, because that's the guy that we keep on seeing, and he's obviously got the knowledge. It's a very subtle thing. And I often say to people, the amount of effort that you put into your digital space and your digital profile shows the amount of effort you put into your service and your product for your clients. It's a very subtle, subconscious thing. But if you're going to be slapdash about your digital profile, why must I trust you with your other services?
Yes. So it's an indicator of quality then as well, and it's becoming more. But Chris, having said that, your videos don't always need to be those highly polished professional videos. People also want to see. I guess there's a time and a place for a marquee video that goes onto your website, something really polished, professional, right? But what people also like to see is something authentic, right? The expert talking about how to select a pool, and so that doesn't necessarily need to be marketing quality, as you have said, right?
Yeah, so the behind the scenes videos are very, very good for exactly that kind of situation. Now, once again, coming from a photographic perspective, and photography has moved from film to digital to video very, very quickly. And to keep up with it, I've obviously watched a lot of videos, and there's a guy that I follow in the States, and he uses just one flash for his photography. And it gives very good effects. And his videos are excellent. And what he does is he shows you the mistakes that he makes while taking a photograph. So he's not this highly polished photographer that takes the right photograph first shot. He takes a few and then shows you on the video, I really messed this up. This is what happened, and this is why I've messed it up. And it's a very clever subtle way. So immediately, me watching it think, oh, I'm not so bad. If he can mess it up, I can mess it up, and he didn't die messing it up, so it's that whole familiarity and seeing somebody do it. And a video, like I say, so simple and easy. If we just look at TikTok, the growth of TikTok, how businesses are using TikTok to get their messages out. The first thing we thought of for the kids and the teenagers. No, it's become a very serious business tool. And that's what people need to realize. And once again, it's the fear. Don't be scared of it. Get out there and get involved. The more you do it, it's like anything you do. In the beginning, it's difficult, but the more you do it, you become comfortable and it becomes second nature.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go into how to get started in a minute. Just another use that I think is becoming quite relevant as well is introductory videos. Using, you could record this on there's software called Loom is one, I think, and then there's Bonjoro is another one, where you do a quick introduction. Let's say you've connected with somebody on LinkedIn who's a great prospect, and you want to do a quick introduction. So you'd record that, a 2-minute, very short introduction, and then highly personalized, mentioning the person's name, etc. Why you're reaching out, and so on. And that you can then put onto, you use the link, you put it on your LinkedIn message, it pulls the picture in, right? And you send the LinkedIn message and a person gets a personalized, very short video of you introducing yourself to that individual. Or for, you're doing a proposal, send a proposal off, but incorporate a quick video, right? It's just so powerful and a different ball game altogether.
The feel-good factor of that is immeasurable. It's not just a document that's arrived or an email or a thank you WhatsApp. Like I say, it's personalized. And so once again, you put a little bit of effort into it. And it shows the kind of effort that you put into doing business with me. You know what I'm saying? It's that subconscious situation. And it's easy. It's not difficult. It's not complicated. It really isn't.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so just to maybe sort of summarize this, there are a lot of places where you can use the video. So frequently asked questions, right? Those how to use my product video as an example. Personalized, personalized videos as well. There's also videos. One of the things you mentioned was the ebook, and I've also seen now you get digital cards, business cards, which actually have like a small screen on the back, right? And you can actually upload the recording on that, and then you also get these foldable cards, and you open that up, and it's got a little screen in there, plastic screen, right? Very thin, and you can have a greeting in there or an introduction about your business in there as well.
It's those kind of things, and it's hard to use technology cleverly. So once again, QR codes. QR codes are a very powerful thing. So you can have a QR code on a banner behind you in a meeting. Somebody can scan that, and it can take them to a video or more information. And something we spoke about recently now, we've got a lady in a network group that I'm involved in that does blinds, right? And she gets a lot of recommendations or referrals on Facebook. And what she's done is she's taken a digital ebook or a flip book, and it's basically a book that you flip on the screen, and she's made a catalog out of that. So when somebody refers to her for blinds, she sends them a DM with a hyperlink to that flip book, right? So it shows the blinds she does. People can choose the colors, the cost, etc. There's a price in there. And once again, it's communication. And then you've got a link in there saying, send me the measurements. I can send you a provisional quote. So this thing is working for her by itself. She might be sleeping. But it's once again a clever use of digital and combining video with other things. So you can have a flip book that's got photographs in it and video. So when they turn the page, a video starts playing. So I'm saying for her, she then shows how the blind moves up and down. It's an automated blind. So how do you show that in a photograph? You can't. But in a moving image, there it is. So it's just being clever and thinking out the box.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing, right? Okay. Chris, how do people get started, or what do they need as a setup? What do you need? What are the basics someone needs to do this for their business?
So the first place is most people have got something to start with. If you've got a cell phone and it takes decent video, there's no excuse. You can start there, and if you're not sure, then go onto TikTok and see what kids have done with TikTok videos, and all that is with a cell phone. So if they can do it, and if you've got small children or something, let them show you how. That at least have a decent cell phone. And then the next thing is sound. What I often do is the cell phones record quite well, but you can go and get yourself a mic. And I often just use another cell phone and plug it in there and have a lapel mic or have one of those fluffy mouse mics handy, so that you can, if the cell phone's recording the sound is not good, you can use the other sound. And then once again, it's your other thing is lighting. Just make sure that you're in a room where the lighting is good. If it's not good, you get these ring lights that everybody is now, and you can put the cell phone in the middle of that. I find them a bit off-putting because you get a circle in people's eyes. But it's a good place to start, right? What I've done is I've just gone and bought normal LED spotlights, and you take the paper that architects use, it's like a tracing paper, and you just put it over, and it softens the light. And there you go. And just by placing it and moving it, you can see what works, what doesn't work. A lot of the editing software, you can also then beef up the lighting or that kind of situation. That's basically where you need to start. If you want to then go further, most mirrorless cameras can take really good video. There's so much more you can do, but the idea is start. If you're like me, I love gadgets, and so I want to go and buy the biggest and the best first off, but you don't need to do that, right? Start with what you've got, and as you go, you can see what more you need. Right. But it's a very simple process. And then if you've got somebody that can help you edit, that can take what you've done, spruce it up, cut it, splice it, put music to it, put text to it, add logos to it. There's so much that can happen, and it's not difficult. Just find somebody that can do it for you if you're not technically proficient.
Right. Okay, so Chris, if you've got this set up, so I'm recording this from my laptop, right? So don't have any fancy camera equipment or anything like that. Once you start the recording, are there any tips there? People often ask, so I don't know what to say, and I'm going to get stuck, and then I'm going to stop, and it can be nerve-wracking from that perspective. Any tips there on, once you get going, what to do?
But okay, so firstly, don't be scared of seeing yourself. And also remember, once you've recorded it, you've got the recording. Nobody else has seen it. So, and you can always delete it and do it again. So I've had to learn that. Then also, the big thing is learn to speak steadily and slowly. Because of my background, I can speak very, very quickly, and it gets lost. So it's those things. So what I then started doing is I use the teleprompter, and you can get teleprompters that you can download for free and use on a phone or on a tablet. And just put that behind your laptop, behind your phone, and let it scroll, and you will eventually get to a speed that you're comfortable with. Also, what's happened with me is I'm more comfortable with that now, so I put bullet points there. So I don't need to put verbatim what I'm going to say. I can talk around bullet points, but that comes the more you do it. It's those little things. And then don't be scared if you've made a mistake. Just stop, go back, and repeat what you said. You can cut the mistake out and edit it in. It's very, very simple. Then, like if you spoke about lighting,
so that teleprompter you just download on your phone, and you put the phone behind the camera, somewhere close to the camera, and it looks like you're looking directly into the camera. But
100% right. In fact, now on YouTube, you can go and see how to make a cheap teleprompter yourself using a tablet. I think a mirror and a file. So it's going to cost you, if you really were going to go that far. To me, it's easier. I put a tablet up and there it runs, and then I've got the speed ready. Then also, the important thing is, depending on what kind of thing, what message you're trying to convey, what the video is all about, is your background. Understand, you might be front and center, but people can see what's going on behind you, etc., etc. So if you're showing how to use a product, and if arguments are drill, then be in a workshop, but be in a fairly tidy workshop. It's those kind of things. Be aware of what's around you. As a photographer, you learn because you make mistakes. The old story about having a pillow on somebody's head because it was on the shelf behind them, or that, you're going to make those mistakes. Learn from them and move on. Reshoot the video. It's not difficult.
Do you subscribe to the don't stop rules? Once you stop, you got to start again, and it becomes very time consuming. Just carry on, right? If you make a mistake, don't worry, just carry on, and then you edit it out. You just cut those sections out, right?
Yes, what's taught me that is I do a lot of property videos, and often what happens is you're walking through the house and their dog runs in, or the child runs in. It's all I do is I take a couple of steps back, wait for the dog or the child to walk up, and I carry on. I don't stop. I don't start all over. It's easy to edit out those mistakes or those things that you don't want to see. It's very simple. But and also, size doesn't count anymore with video. Now, it's quite interesting. I do 360 tours, and it's in a small camera that's half the size of a cell phone, and it takes 360 videos. So, and it's stunning. It's so. The more you get into it, the more uses you're going to find for those kind of things. With that kind of stuff, we've done workshops. So if you provide a certain product and people want to see what does your factory look like, now you can do a video, or you can do a 360 video of people. You don't have to fly your clients from China to come and see your factory anymore. It can be done video format. It saves you a lot of money. It's just being clever. And what's the message? Make sure that what I'm going to use for the message is clean, sorted out, what I want to see. And Bob's your uncle.
Wow. So there's no real excuse to start, right? Just get going. Get going. I think, one of the really well-known video guys is Gary Vaynerchuk. He's obviously like a world-known legend, right? So he does videos every day. He's a massive multi-million following globally, right? But if you look at his first videos, the very first ones, they were actually awful. They were terrible videos, though, right? And he says that himself. He says those first ones, but don't worry about it, because your first videos, not many people, you haven't got a big following yet, right? So it doesn't really matter, right? But you got to build up that bank on a regular basis, consistently, so that people are started to attract to the content. And that's how it grows. And as you grow, you're going to be better and better and better at the video. So no reason not to start. Right?
So I'll say just another story. So I've done pack shots or catalog photo shoots with models. So what we get to do is, when you shoot film, is you wouldn't even develop your first roll of film. You just throw it away, because it takes the model time to get used to the camera. Now, those are professional models, man. They do it on a daily basis. They need to feel comfortable. And so that often I tell myself with video, the same thing. Even the pros get nervous. Even they mess it up. So delete, just take the next shoot. So yes, there is no excuse.
Yeah. Chris, putting captions, I read that most people these days watch videos on silent, right? They're, in a meeting or whatever, wherever they are, but they don't want to disturb people around it, maybe in a bus or a train or something. So they watch those videos on, on silent. How does one get those captions?
So I say YouTube will automatically put captions on. And also there's a way of doing it through PowerPoint, of doing that as well. So you can play a video through PowerPoint and it puts the captions on.
Okay, so quite important these days also to put some captions on so people can read. They're watching you, but they're not listening. They're reading.
I find text interesting because it reinforces a point. So there's nothing wrong where if I'm talking to Peter Locke, who is a coach, and I just at the bottom of his video put, successfully helped Poker Fusion photography grow by 100% in 6 months. And it might not be said, but it's there. Once again, it's the subconscious message that has just gone through. So you can have caption, but also don't be scared of adding text and context,
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I also do, Chris, is I often want to use my video material for a blog post, as an example, right? And there are places like rev.com, or I use otter.ai, where you can upload recordings, voice recordings, video recordings, etc., and it'll then after an hour or two give you a full transcription.
Yes.
So you've almost got your blog post written out. It needs a bit of cleaning up and editing and so on, but hey presto, right? You've done one video recording and you can now use the material in multiple ways as well, just by some clever tools that are basically free out there for use.
The same thing. So people often say to me with videos, I don't know what to say. So there's AI programs where they will basically write a blog for you. So you can start the paragraph with the first couple of words. And so use that to write your script. If you take a topic, put in the first couple of lines, it'll then expand it for you. Or if it doesn't sound good, they can paraphrase it for you. So use technology to make you look good. People don't know that it's some computer, that's some in the cloud somewhere that's written the text. They think it's you, right?
Yeah.
Like use the technology to make your text good, or just to expand on things. Sometimes people don't use enough words. They're short and sharp to the point. People want a slightly more broader description. And if you're one of those short, sharp people, I'm sadly not, then use AI to make more words, but it's there.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, look, I think there's a whole new world of marketing opportunities that are opening up with video, and businesses who are not getting into this are really, really losing out.
Yes.
It's a great opportunity to build that know me, like me, trust me, answer all the questions that people have, which sets you up as the expert, the go-to expert. And if you haven't got this, over the next couple of years, I think you're going to be really, really missing. It was like websites, 20 years ago. If you didn't get a website, you were missing out. Absolutely, yeah.
COVID has done that to us. It's made the digital space so much more accessible. So I do weddings that are streamed around the world. Funerals are streamed around the world. And that's video technology. So if that's what's happened, you're gonna have to start using that for your business. So that you might not need to stream, but people want to see moving things and so on, and it is accessible. And like you say, if you don't jump on the bandwagon now, well, you're going to be on a dirt road in a couple of years' time, and everybody else is on a highway.
Yeah, that's a very nice description. All right. Okay, Chris, I think we've sort of come to the end of our time. Maybe you could just give an overview. What do you help people with, and how can people get into contact with you if they need your help?
Okay, so what I do is I'm a digital storyteller. So I come to people and what's the story? You want to sell a product? You want to educate people? You want to tell somebody about a non-profit organization or things like that? And then we use the digital space to tell that story. A combination of video, photos, or whatever. That's basically what we do. I come from a business background, so to me, what's the message is very important. I always say to people, take a photograph, take a video, it's easy, you push a button. but that's not going to get your message across. So to me, it's important is we help people. What's the message, and how do we convey the message the best for your market and portraying you the best? And to me, that's very, very important to sit with people. And then I'm fortunate enough that I've got the ability to get people to be comfortable in front of the camera. So it takes a while, but eventually they find out it's not that bad. It doesn't hurt. It's not like going to the dentist, right? So, and then, and the process is basically contact me, let's find out what you want, let's see if and how I can help you, and then we take it from there. And the best way to contact me is my website is focalfusion.co.za, and my email is chris@focalfusion.co.za. And my mobile number is 083-793-6019. And yes, contact me, and then we'll see how it goes, how we can help people from there.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much, Chris. No excuses anymore not to get into video. But besides that, there's a fantastic opportunity out there to generate more leads, to set yourself up as the go-to business. And it really is an opportunity that shouldn't be missed at this point in time. So, Chris, thank you so much for joining us today. It was really very, very informative and insightful. And happy videoing, everyone. See you on the next
video. Thanks a lot for the chat, and thanks a lot for the opportunity.
No, thank you. Bye, Chris. Bye, everyone.